Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube. Happy Friday morning. And this morning's video, I just wanted to real quick talk about the holidays. It started to trickle up a few times in various conversations, and I noticed on YouTube's recipes are starting to come up, and the groups that we're all in, it's starting to have conversations about what to do, how they're going to manage, and it's always such a big topic in our little community. And when you get into things out into the big wide world, it's just so overwhelming. And I thought this would be a good catalyst for us to start having some of these conversations. And I would share how I've survived over the past several years. For those of you who don't know, I actually follow a ketogenic lifestyle, and even though a lot of the things I will say will apply to ketogenics, we'll talk about people who follow other food plans, because a lot of these tips are the same across the board regardless of what kind of plan you follow. Let's face it, holidays are hard for everybody. It doesn't even matter which holidays you celebrate, which ones you don't celebrate. I believe there's something like 27 different holidays between the end of October and the beginning of January. So, boy, you could really just go wild, and it is so much on top of everything else in the regular day-to-day life. So where do you even start? I mean, just my little conversation here already feels very heavy, and yet been doing pretty good. I'd actually love it if some of you share your tips down in the comments, or contribute to the conversation, and we'll revisit this subject again maybe later in the month or early in December. So I mean, let's talk about the holidays. What happens is, boy, the high pressure commercial sales are hitting. Christmas has been in the stores for a couple months. Right now we have all of the commentary of like, order now, buy now, because otherwise you won't get your things for Christmas. And there's just like all of this tension building. But remembering that the next thing that here is going to happen is we have in the United States Thanksgiving. And this is a holiday where a lot of families or friends or special groups where the people start coming together. In fact, even though the holiday is one major day, these gatherings stack up and you have to go. And it seems like a never-ending supply of having to deal with not only your social spoons, but your food as well. And so it's a lot of peopling and a lot of crazy stuff going on, all piled together. So let's actually just talk about like the main deal, a large people gathering. How do you even get going on something like that? So this is not an encouragement to jump off the rails and go hog wild way outside the boundaries of your normal day-to-day eating. When you do that, that's why people start not feeling well. Oh, I had 10 pieces of pie yesterday. You know what? Even if you follow the worst standard American diet, you don't feel good doing that. So you get there. What kind of things can you do? And I think the number one thing you can do is plan ahead your time. Remember that you're there for building your relationships. You're there to feel good about the people you interact with. You're there to see the people that maybe you haven't seen in a while, or you've only been talking on the phone. Remember that that's a really high focus. Make a contribution. I know that as someone who's a host and I love entertaining, I think that maybe you've noticed I love my kitchen gadgets, and I have coffee every 10 ways to Sunday. I have awesome servingware. I love to get in the kitchen, and I just love to go wild. And the rule in our home is if you come, you're welcome as you are. Of course, you don't need to bring something. Inevitably, people do, and that is also super appreciated. So, even when the host tells you, I've got this, don't bring anything, feel free to bring your contribution. And when they bring it up and be like, I told you, don't bring anything, you say, oh, you know me, how could I not? And it's filled with joy and love, so of course. So and bring something that you love. So not only so you can have a little bit of something that you love, but you share your joy with other people. If you are that deviled egg fanatic, the person who sees the tray of the deviled eggs and every 5 minutes it's like yoink, and sort of like, well, I'll take this tray of 36 for me, and look, there's 2 left for everybody else. Then you should bring those, and maybe even dress them up with a little variety. Make some avocado ones. Throw a little caviar down in the base of the deviled egg for a little surprise. If you're vegan, you need to go hog wild, right? Bring an elaborate vegetable tray. Bring stuff that people maybe aren't used to seeing. Bring some pickled vegetables, and some nice vegan dips. You've got like some awesome cracker options that you can do that are really great that people might not have otherwise experienced because they don't follow that. If you're a pescatarian, why don't you bring some really cool stuff to highlight that? Because there's not going to be anything else for you to eat there. If you're a pescatarian, great, you can have this, side salad. Yeah, it's not a joyous a moment for you. But so think outside the box. Remember the things that bring you happiness and bring and contribute. Maybe you're not a food person. Bring a board game. Bring your favorite short film. Bring some interactive activities, like maybe you guys have like an indoor beanbag throw, or little fun stuff. If it's not horrendously freezing where you are, bring some stuff to do outside. Go for it. Bring some favorite music, introduce people to things, get in there. The other thing is, it's easy. Usually what happens in a lot of families is there's like the certain people who are the crew, and everybody else is left to sort of fend for themselves to be social. Get involved with that crew. Pitch in and help clean up, clear dishes, get in the way. It's all right. And at the end, then you're not leaving somebody with a big giant kitchen mess that they've all got to deal with after they've been going through all the same things you are. Pitch in, help out. All of that giving really contributes to a whole better experience. And when things get stressful, because let's face it, as much as we love our families, sometimes they just get on your nerves. Am I right? You got Uncle Bob who likes the Denver Broncos, and everybody around the house is like, for reals, and you've got all the way at the other, your keto, cousin Marcia is strict vegan, and the two of you have to sit across the table giving each other the look, with your little judgy eyes. And really, ultimately, as it turns out, except for the meat part, you like a lot of the same things. Find those pieces where you can interact and find joy with each other. So, did I give a lot of tips? Not really. Did I just ramble a lot about some niceties? Yes, but they're all things that if you think about them and you put them in your heart, you'll remember why you are actually there. And I will tell you now, just from a ketogenic point of view, you are a superstar for someone who can contribute. I mentioned the deviled eggs. Can't tell you the last time I went to any kind of party where deviled eggs didn't just completely disappear. The other thing that you are fantastic is you get to do the charcuterie. Especially Thanksgiving, you get there bright and early. The turkey is not finished. Everybody's starving by 3 o'clock. Well, they're not if you're involved, because you've brought this fabulous charcuterie that has the cute little olives and the pickles artfully arranged with your fancy cheeses and your cured meats, your prosciutto. Maybe you made like a nice tray that looks like a turkey. All kinds of fun stuff you can do. And contribute to the side dishes. Don't like cauliflower? I guarantee that's what most people think, but I have yet to go to a party where I took the loaded cauliflower and people devoured it. The other thing I've made is the little, what are they? Fritters. You know, the cauliflower mashed with the cheese and the bacon and a little bit of an egg for binder and some pork rind crumbs. You fry those babies up or bake them off or whatever you want, and they are delightful, especially if you have like a nice little seasoned sour cream type dip with them. People love it. And if you're a ketovore or you're old-fashioned keto, can I tell you, amongst all that food, the salad is golden. People actually do eat the salad. It sounds counter to the entire extravagant event, but to have that little bit lighter, and it gives you more options. You do not have to eat some of everything. You do not have to change your plans or be off the rails crazy. And like I said, I eat ketogenic, so hey, smoked turkey and prime rib roast, I'm pretty much a happy camper right there. My plate is full. But if I am, you know, Aunt Marcia the vegan, I am not a happy camper. Bring your dish. For many, many, many years before I had to make drastic changes, we were vegetarian and we had our stint with veganism. And one year through the holidays, I made an amazing spread, and it did not have a bunch of fake tofurkey things. We did a roasted acorn squash with a quinoa with a fresh cranberry relish and toasted walnuts mixed into it. We did some Brussels sprouts and with a caramelized balsamic glaze, and they were phenomenal. You know, we did, of course, we did do our salad with our vinaigrette. There were just, and it was an Instagram worthy meal. So remember, you know, to stick to what you know and expose people to your treasures. Now, if that was what was brought to my house, I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to make sure that people who can enjoy it do. But for myself, and I'm also going to make sure that we have the options for me. When it comes to desserts, you know what goes with your food plans. There are so many dessert recipes out there. Two Crazy Ketos has like the best pie crust ever. I actually like it better than when I used to do regular pies, and I have blue ribbon pies from the fair. I'm no slouch when it comes to pies, and I'm telling you, I love the Two Crazy Ketos coconut flour pie crust. It is outstanding. It delivers. And I've used it in a multitude of fashions. I've used it for tartlets, I've used it for pies, I've used it to make mini empanadas, both savory and sweet. So it is super flexible, and it's a great treat. Also, don't forget your things like custards and flans and your aspics or your gelatins. Fantastic, and also sometimes a bit of a change of pace and refreshing. Along with that pie crust, I don't know if it's a keto chow recipe or if it was a Two Crazy Ketos recipe. I'd have to look it up again. But they've got a keto chow cream pie filling, and wow, that was incredible. And I took that pie. Not only did I make one for us at home, but I took them to several events, and people were blown away by how delicious it was. So duly noted. And I actually did like the Chris Bear version for one, where I did the chocolate cream filling, and then I made a s'mores topper, and those were really good mixed together. But it'll tell you also the combination works with some of your other flavors too, like your chocolate toffee or even the strawberry. Although you need to boost up the strawberry flavor a little bit with either some fresh fruit or some extract or things like that. So share below what your favorite dishes are. By the way, if you're a carnivore, the Carnivorous Chef just put out a side dish that is steak and bacon in a thick cream sauce for a side dish. That looks amazing, and I haven't tried it yet, but I am telling you, how can you go wrong? So I would give it a good go. I will see you live on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I've got a little surprise. It's still called Coffee Talk, but as you know, Coffee Talk doesn't always mean coffee. Coffee Talk is a subject matter where you sit around and you shoot the breeze during a coffee period. But this weekend, we're not going to talk about coffee. We might a little bit because, well, it is a passion. But I've got a nice surprise for you. And so Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Radical Geek YouTube channel will be live streaming. And I look forward to seeing you all then. In the meantime, remember your goals. Remember that you're amazing. Remember that everything you do is got a purpose and you are outstanding. So hope that you have an amazing Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.